Talk about this topic with one of my former colleagues from Congress, Robert Walker. Bob Walker, the gentleman from Pennsylvania. Bob, thanks so much for spending some time with us today. And you spent your career helping scientists understand Congress and vice versa. When I was a freshman in Congress, you were chairman of the Science, Space, and Technology Committee. React to the notion of climate change. Is there legitimate climate change that is man-made?
Well, the problem is that climate change has become more of a political and economic debate than it is a science debate. If you look at the real science, you have a hard time making the case that Al Gore and others have made about climate change. The climate is a very, very complex issue. And the problem is that what they have done is cherry-pick science in order to make a political point and an economic point, and have tried to internationalize this whole subject matter. I have to agree that as the real science has rolled out, it has raised questions about the whole modeling that was done by the climate scientists.
Robert, John Coleman said in an open letter attacking the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change that the ocean is not rising significantly. The polar ice is increasing, not melting away, and heat waves have actually diminished. So what do you have to say in regards to that?
Well, he's absolutely right. I mean, we've gone, look, this whole thing used to be called global warming. And when they figured out that they could no longer sustain an argument that the climate was warming, because we've had about 15 years now of a stable climate, they changed their whole line to climate change. And they continue to use, though, this global warming formula, that the oceans were going to rise and that the temperatures were going to continue to increase and so on. This is not what is happening. And part of the reason for that is that the greenhouse gases that they talk about include water vapor, but they don't include that. 95% of greenhouse gases are water vapor. Less than 5%, including carbon dioxide, are the other greenhouse gases. Of carbon dioxide, humans only contribute a small percentage of that, or it's a fairly large percentage of the carbon dioxide, but a very small percentage. In fact, overall, it's a 0.28%, and just about 0.3% is human contribution to overall, including water vapor, to overall greenhouse gases.
So, Robert, are you saying that there is climate change occurring, global warming, whatever it is you want to call it, but that very small percentage of it is actually due to humans?
About 45
Well, climate
seconds,
changes
Bob.
all the time. We're probably going to have 3 different climate changes here in Washington, D.C. Today. So you can't argue that there's not climate change. Yes, climate changes. The same thing that you have to say about the fact that humans are going to be a part of that. Humans are a part of the ecosystem of the Earth. So obviously there's going to be a contribution. But what these guys have done is they have said that humans are the be-all and end-all of what's happening in climate. They have no models that can really sustain that, because climate is far more complex than a one-dimensional look at it.
And Bob, we're going to ask you to hang in with us and rejoin us after the break to talk more. It's intriguing. You spotted the political term, maybe it's since we're both members of Congress, but when the definition changed from global warming to climate change, there was a change in tactics. When we come back, we'll ask Bob about one thing that hasn't changed in terms of this entire subject, and that's spending money, lots of it. That's straight ahead as we continue with Bob Walker here on America's Forum.